If you are looking for the best Linux laptops, you are in the right place. We have tried to include in-depth information on Linux laptops in our video, which will be enough to fulfill all of your needs. All of them are maintaining their features, prices, quality, durability, and the reputation of the manufacturer, and real customer feedback. If you want to buy a Linux laptops, we think this list will be very worthy to you. Now let's get started with the video. At the first position of our list, we have Dell XPS 13 9360 13.3 laptop. The Dell XPS 13 is a laptop that sits right in the middle of the road in terms of specs. It's not going to wow you in terms of performance, but it's not going to disappoint you in any major way either. The 7th Gen Intel processor isn't exactly cutting edge, but it's more than enough for the needs of users looking for productivity. And the fact that there are a varied number of ports on the Dell XPS 13 means that it's future-proofed for compatibility with most of your devices. And in a rarity for laptops at any price range, the trackpad on the Dell XPS 13 is actually very good. If you find yourself struggling with your current computer and feeling the need to invest in independent peripherals, you'll find a lot to love from the Dell XPS 13. It may be a bit pricey, but it's a very efficient piece of machinery. Moving on to the next at number 2 with HP 17 Business Laptop. It's rare to see a laptop that actually comes built with Linux in mind. But the fact that this HP laptop does let you know that it really means business. But the first thing you'll notice about this laptop is just how much screen you get. The full 17-inch display doesn't offer the best resolution, but it does provide you with plenty of space for running dual windows side by side. If you're trying to customize some pretty complicated screens, this laptop is accommodating. Aside from that, this is a laptop that's all about business. The combination of an i5 processor and 16 GB of RAM get the job done. There may not be a discrete graphics card, but that's just in keeping with the design sensibilities of this model. Boring but sensible, and focused squarely on the no-nonsense needs of discerning professionals. The number 3 position is held by Acer Aspire E15 15.6 laptop. Need a laptop on a budget, but not willing to sacrifice on the fundamentals? Fortunately, you don't have to. The Acer Aspire E15 might not offer the best specs on a laptop, but it does offer specs that well exceed the asking price of less than $500. It may only offer an i3 processor, but sometimes more power simply isn't necessary with a laptop. And the efficiency of Linux will allow you to squeeze more juice out of it than you might get with another operating system. And that slightly more limited comes with an advantage to the battery life as well. You can expect over half a day of usage on just a single charge. This may be a cheaper laptop, but it doesn't sacrifice in terms of resolution. The full HD display allows you to watch movies and TV the way they were intended. Next at number 4, we have Apple MacBook Air 2018. This version of the MacBook Air may be a few years out of date, but it still holds up pretty well. The real advantage here is that you can get the great build quality and strong external hardware Apple is known for without having to pay a premium on a laptop where you won't even be using the Mac OS. That includes the notably bright and crisp Retina display and 2 reliable Thunderbolt ports. In terms of specs here, the quality for the price is actually pretty strong. The i5 processor draws from Intel's 8th generation of core hardware, and the built-in speakers can actually pump out some pretty solid quality sound. And this workhorse can keep on chugging all day thanks to the promise of a 12-hour battery life. And with Touch ID, you have a more convenient method for keeping all of your information safe. The number 5 position is held by Asus ZenBook 13 Ultra Slim laptop. The ZenBook falls comfortably into the category of a go-anywhere, do-anything laptop, and that versatility makes it one of the best Linux laptops available. It isn't the best at any one thing, but it can do just about anything well. The 8th generation Intel Core i5 offers reasonable performance for even pro users without having to spend a fortune, and the capabilities here are strong enough that you can install a developer edition and still feel comfortable. And this laptop is fundamentally designed to go with you just about anywhere. The aluminum body is sturdy while still being incredibly lightweight, and Asus has done a great job of keeping the dimensions small while still providing users with a decent amount of space to work with. In addition to the traditional HDMI and USB ports, it comes with a microSD card reader for easy data transfer. The number 6 position is dominated by Lenovo ThinkPad E570 laptop. The Lenovo ThinkPad has arguably become the name to beat for pro business laptops, and that fits hand in glove with a Linux operating system. The fact that this laptop comes with Windows 10 Pro included means it's already an ideal fit for a dual-boot operating system design, providing you with high levels of security and efficient productivity regardless of which operating system you decide to use for any given project. And it doesn't skimp on the specs either. While we normally recommend against investing in a 7th generation Intel Core, the price-to-power ratio here is some of the best around. Add in the extra efficiency that comes from running a Linux machine and the decent 8 gigs of memory, and that generational discrepancy is more or less negated anyway. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Samsung Chromebook Pro. The biggest criticism of Chromebooks is the fact that, well, they run on Chrome, but that's not as much of an issue if you plan on using it for Linux anyway. If you want a lightweight coding rig and aren't in need of serious processing power, the Samsung E570 24-cone US is one of the best Linux laptops you'll find. The fact that it's refurbished gives you a little more value for your dollar. But this would be a great deal even new. Where this laptop especially soars is in its 2-in-1 design. It can transition easily between tablet and laptop modes, and the screen looks bright and crisp while also being visible from practically any viewing angle imaginable. For our money, this may be one of the finest Chromebooks on the market, and a great fit for more active users with less demanding needs. The number 8 position is held by Asus Vivobook S15 laptop. As the name might suggest, the Vivobook by Asus is lively. That's reflected in the playful silver-blue design with yellow accents and the sleek features that make it look as much like a fashion accessory as a piece of hardware. But beneath its tantalizing good looks and the extraordinarily cheap price tag, it's the hardware itself that makes this one of the best Linux laptops we've come across at hot rate. That includes an 8th generation version of the Core IFA processor and a respectable 8 GB of RAM. The keyboard is fully backlit for viewing in darker conditions, but it also feels great underneath the fingers. But the coolest addition here is the screen pad. It allows you to transform your trackpad into a secondary screen. It's an innovative and well-implemented solution that we're surprised more manufacturers haven't started incorporating into their designs. Next at number 9 we have CHUWI LapBook Pro 14.1. Chances are that you've never heard of CHUWI. That's okay, but their LapBook Pro is definitely worth paying attention to if you're looking for the best Linux laptops on a budget. While the hardware here is far from the top we've ever seen, they do a great job finding the balance between hardware specs and really making everything sing without having to hike up the cost. It's not the most powerful laptop you'll find, but it's a real treat to cost. And what it lacks in power, it more than makes up for in other ways. The battery life on the LapBook Pro is well above average, and the Type-C USB port can be used for both power and data transfer. Plus, the inclusion of dual-band Wi-Fi means that you'll retain a consistent internet connection just so long as there's a decent signal nearby. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Lite 11 laptop. Star Labs has constructed an Ultrabook that's custom-built for Linux users. It even comes with Mint pre-installed. The fact you can get this for under $500 means that you can't exactly expect an Intel Core i7, but the lack of gaming options on Linux mean an Intel Core i7 won't do you much good anyway. Instead, you get an efficient and lightweight machine that's great for the more mundane tasks that tech professionals regularly need to perform. And despite that low price tag, some serious love has clearly gone into the build of this model. The screen may be small, but it delivers quality high resolution, and the Pentium processor provides some relatively powerful performance for less resource-heavy users. The SSD hard drive isn't the largest, but it's over-provisioned to let you get the highest transfer speeds possible. That's all for today. All the product links in the description down below. We upload videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the upcoming video notification.